I'm Natalie. I'm an RN and lactation consultant, and today we're going to talk about paced bottle feeding. If you're planning on introducing a bottle to your baby, the best time to introduce is ideally between 4 and 6 weeks after breastfeeding has been well established. There are instances, however, that bottle feeding needs to be introduced earlier, and when we do that, we want to make sure that we're using paced bottle feeding so that the baby can go back and forth between the breast and the bottle okay. When you're introducing a bottle to your breastfed baby, the first thing you need to do is pick out the bottle and the bottle nipple. There's two main things that you want to look for. The first is you want to look for the shape of the bottle nipple. There's about 1,000 different bottle nipples out there, and there's going to be one that works for every baby. But generally, we like the shape to be sloping, going from narrow gradually to wide. We used to say that wider was better, but we found that babies are actually latching more shallow to those, and it is causing some problems at the breast at times. The second factor that you're going to look for is the flow rate. With breastfed babies at the bottle, we want the flow as slow as possible. This will help keep babies actively engaged in the feed and also help them from developing a preference for a faster flow when they go back to the breast. The bottle that we're going to use today is the Dr. Brown's. You can see that it's narrow at the tip and it gradually gets a little bit wider. We're going to be using the preemie nipple. The preemie nipple is not just for preemie babies. In fact, many babies that were full term can use this preemie nipple for months on end until they graduate up. We always want to say the slowest that we can for as long as the baby will handle it. When you're ready to feed your baby, get in a comfortable position, and you want to have babies sitting more upright versus laying on their back, which is the way you would traditionally hold a baby to bottle feed. Holding babies upright while feeding protects the baby's airway and gives them more control when they swallow. I always try to think of a garden hose turned on full blast as a kid and trying to drink out of it. It's just too overwhelming sometimes. So by sitting upright, you can definitely slow the flow down for them. You're gently going to bring the bottle nipple towards baby's mouth horizontally. Milk should fill the tip of the nipple, that way you're not getting too much air, but if there's a little bit, it's okay. You can go ahead and tap the baby's upper lip and kind of wait for them to open wide and ask for the milk. There we go. Gently insert the bottle, and you can rotate a little bit to kind of help his lips open nice and wide around the base of the bottle. And then once they start actively sucking, you can start raising the nipple so the milk is filling the nipple. You can see with this horizontal feeding that the baby's taking the milk very slowly versus big giant gulps. When he takes a break, you can tilt the nipple down, or you can actually remove it completely until he asks for more. When baby starts asking for more, smacking their lips, you can offer the bottle again. You're going to continue in this horizontal plane with the bottle and the baby sitting upright. As you can see, his lips are almost at the very end and they're flanged out nice and wide. You want to make sure that his lips are flanged. That way when he goes back to the breast, he knows he also needs to flange his lips to get a deep latch. He's breathing now, so we'll give him a break. And he starts sucking, so we give him more. Ideally, we want the paced bottle feed to take about 10 to 15 minutes. This way of feeding really slows down the babies, and it's less overwhelming for them to try and keep up with a fast flow. They have more time to digest their milk, and it also lets their fullness catch up with them. I also think that babies tend to enjoy this way of feeding better than if it was just pouring into their mouth and they had to keep up with it. With any bottle feeding, you want to burp the baby about every 1 ounce.